Hello everyone, it is Wednesday evening, October 12th, and it's time for another Facebook Live. We're going to do a technique tonight. So I've done this technique before, but I did it most recently at my friend Kay's technique class. I hadn't done it for a while. Hello, Betty. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. At the end, I will tell you who won this Halloween card that we did last week, using the cottage wreath stamp set in dies, and we colored our ribbon, and I'll show you, and I'll tell you who won that at the end. As always, everybody that comments on this video here on Facebook will be in the drawing to win this card next week. So let me get this shared over to the group in case somebody is looking for it there, and then we will get started. Get my laptop going. So we've used, I think we've used this soft seedling set. Excuse me, let me get a drink. All right. I believe we've used this, I think we've used it in class. I can't remember if I've used it in Facebook Live before or not. But it's a really nice set, and it, it makes me think of fall, but it wouldn't have to be. You can make green leaves and it wouldn't have to be fall at all. All right, get this shared. Almost there. Oops. Okay, now we can get started. So what you need for this technique are some baby wipes. I'm going to set my card aside. And the stamp set. Something to put them in, and I just use one of our stamp cases. And re-inkers. So we are using the same colors that Kay used in her class: crushed curry, pumpkin pie, and Cajun craze. So I'm going to pull out like 3 or 4 baby wipes and just fold them up. You're making like an ink pad with them. That's what we're trying to do. Now, optimally, they would not have any pattern on them. Let's do one more. But that's kind of hard to find. So I'm folding them in, hoping that that will lessen the pattern that's on them. All right, so now I have a little palette here. And what we learned when we were doing this with Kay is you need lots of ink. So don't be hesitant. So I'm taking my Cajun craze, and I'm just going to drop ink all over. I'm leaving space in between though. I'm going to go ahead and do most of it so we can. All right, that's our Cajun craze. And once these start, once you start putting them on here, it will be hard to tell what's what. Now we're going to take our pumpkin pie and do some pumpkin pie. Just, kind of filling in. And you can kind of see when it spreads out a little bit. All right, so now we have pumpkin pie, and I have it on my finger. And then we're going to go in with our crushed curry and fill in all the spaces in between. So you want to not have any white space left. That's the goal. Now, you may be thinking, oh my gosh, that's a lot of ink. These things are like $3.75, so it's not, this is not an expensive technique. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's add a little bit more. And because I'm putting it in this case, I can close it up, and that will keep it moist. to use another time. Now, there is a limit to how many times you can use it. Because once you use it a few times, then it'll start to get muddy. So you do want to be careful what colors you use. Like if I had added a green to this, everywhere it went into the orange, it would turn brown. So you do want to be sure that you use colors that blend well together. So I just have a piece of basic white. Now, what I learned doing this at Kay's class is don't smush it, because then it gets very, very watery on the edge, and it makes, well, here, I can show you on this one. See this kind of glob right here? That was because it was very, very wet there. So you'd still want to just use your tap, tap, tap. And you don't want to move it all over. You're keeping it kind of in the same spot. And then you're just going to stamp it. Now I'm afraid, see, I'm making a mess. This will make a mess of your hands. Look at that. We're going to do 3 of these. Isn't that beautiful? And if I didn't, let's go to a different part. Yeah, I'm making a mess of my fingers. Again, tap, tap, tap. Move it just slightly so you have a little bit of blending. And on this, we only need the big leaf. We don't want any of the little ones. So I could have stamped that one a little bit farther down. Another gorgeous one, and I bet we can fit one right here. So tap, tap, tap. See what this one looks like. There. So that's probably my least favorite. There's some kind of lines right there that I'm not excited about. So it will be the one on the bottom. But we have 3 beautiful ones. So now I'm just going to close this up. And that will keep it wet for a while. And it was still looking good. It wasn't getting too muddied, or it wasn't running out. So I'll be able to do some more with this. And I don't know how, I couldn't tell you how many days that would last. But you can do it more than that. All right, so I'm going to set these aside for just a minute. And let's do our other, we have one thing to stamp. That's our little sentiment. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but on my blog, after I'm done here, thanks, buddy. It's so fun. And you can do it. I mean, we're doing it with fall leaves, which are beautiful and what a lot of people use it for. But you could do, if you had a bunch of pinks, you could do something for a baby card with that, or blues. Again, you just want to be sure that whatever you, whatever colors you do will blend well together and not create brown or something. So I've got the So Grateful out of the set and my Cajun Craze and just another little strip of crumb cake, which hopefully I can stamp straight. And I'm stamping it to the left side. Not bad, not bad. And then the other thing that we use, so I'm copying this directly. I mean, this card I showed you at the beginning is the one I made in technique class. So the other thing we used was this leaf fall embossing folder. And I love how it leaves a corner free. So if you wanted to, you could put, and I've done this, put your sentiment down there. But we put it on another little strip. And then a card base that is also crumb cake. And so we can go ahead and put this on. And then I'm afraid, I thought about trying to do, you know, like a couple of the leaves ahead of time and cut them out. But where's my phone? But I wanted to be sure that you saw the technique of creating your palette of baby wipes. Unavailable calls us a lot. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. And then this is going to be just across the middle of it. So let's see, we put it down a little bit. So a lot of tone on tone here. We'll set that aside. And now we're going to cut our leaves. And so you want to be sure that the last one, you actually do cut the little stem out. So like I said, this one, I didn't like the lines of it. On this one, you can kind of tell there's some blank spots in there that I didn't like, so I put it at the top because it will be covered the most. So I'm going to choose this for my bottom one. I think it has the most color. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it first, just so I don't forget. And I'm not going to leave all of that stem there, but that's just where I'm starting. Just so I don't forget to leave the stem on one. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world if you did. So because we use this stamp set, there's no dies for this, so you do have to kind of fussy cut. And actually, let's kind of cut these apart. It's just a little easier to manage if you don't have too big of a piece of paper. All right, so let's see, what can we talk about while I'm cutting? So is anybody going to any, oops, sorry, I don't need to pull it up that close to you. Any fun Halloween parties? We don't usually go to any. I'm hoping, so my work, before COVID, we would always have trick or treat at work. And so everybody would bring their kids up to work and trick or treat, or their grandkids. And it was so fun because you just sat in your office and handed out candy to all the little kids that came around. And it was really a lot of fun. And of course, we buy the good candy because we buy what we want to have. And so then you would eat candy all day, and not all day, but in the afternoon, the kids would come up. So I'm hoping that because we haven't done it for the last 2 years because of COVID, of course. So I'm hoping that this year we'll get to. I asked about it, but I haven't heard yet whether they're going to, because my hope is that my daughter-in-law would bring my grandson up and I could show him off to everybody because he is pretty cute. She sent us a picture tonight. So today is their 3rd anniversary. And she sent us a picture tonight of him, or several pictures of him enjoying a cupcake from, for their anniversary. And he had a big grin on his face. I think he was enjoying the cupcake. So we get to babysit him tomorrow night, so they can go out for their anniversary tomorrow night. I imagine they had church tonight is why they couldn't go tonight, so they'll go tomorrow night. So if you've noticed, I'm leaving a little white around this, and I know if you've watched me cut before, you've heard me explain why. If you leave some white around it, then people don't notice if your cutting is not perfect, which mine is definitely not tonight because I'm trying to be a little bit speedy. But people won't notice if your cutting isn't perfect because what they'll see is just the stamped image. That's what their eyes will notice. And they won't notice if your cutting is subpar. Whoops. I almost cut too far on that one. So this is not hard. There's just a lot of little, on these leaves, just a little points to go around. So while we're watching me cut, I have a Christmas card class coming up on Monday. So if you are interested in making some Christmas cards, the last day to sign up is Friday. So I have the weekend to get everything prepared. If you're not familiar with my classes, we make 6 cards and you get envelopes to go with them. And the cost is $20, or it's free with a minimum purchase. Another thing, okay, don't cut off the stem. Don't cut off the stem. Just reminding myself, don't cut off the stem. And it doesn't have to be a really long stem. You just want a little bit. Okay, one done. So we will be making 6 Christmas cards. That's Monday night. So I'd love to have you come join me for class. And then another thing I want to be sure and let you know about, I have a flyer here. I know you're like, don't stop cutting. I'll just lay this over here to the side. So if you have a big wish list or would like to get a discount, then we have something called a starter kit. And it is normally, it's always a good deal. Normally you get $125 for $99, and the shipping is free, which saves you another 11%. So that's always a good deal. Right now, for this month only, they have I'm sorry, I'm getting out of focus, out of the camera, although you've seen me do one. Right now, they have a deal going on that you get $155 worth of product for $99 free shipping. So that's an even better deal. Now, don't be worried about getting a starter kit. Yes, you join the Stampin' Up! Family, you become a member of my team. My ladies will tell you, you don't have to have classes, you don't have to do videos. You can just purchase what you want, get your discount. If you have some friends that might want to purchase, you can sell some stuff to them. So it's not, we welcome, my friend Kay calls them happy shoppers. We welcome everyone. So if that's something that you're interested in, just reach out to me and I can tell you more about it, or I can help you get signed up. Like I said, it's a great deal. I love doing this. I love sharing how to do things with people, teaching them. Some other perks of being a part of the Stampin' Up! Family, they have events, and we are finally back to in-person. So excited about that. So in about a month, I'm going to be going to Arlington, Texas for what they call On Stage. So we will get to see the new catalog that will be coming out in January. So another perk of being a demonstrator or being a part of the team is you get to see all the new stuff first, and you get to order it. So they let us do that so we can start playing with it and have samples ready to show our customers when it's available to them. So middle of November, I'll be going to Arlington. I will get to see new stamps in action. They'll have people demonstrating. Actually, my friend, hey, Patience, and Debbie made it too. Hey, Debbie. Sorry, I've been cutting and not paying attention to the comments. My friend Kay is actually demonstrating at the one in Arlington, so we're so excited about that. We will be cheering her on, and I'm sure we will try and record it so that we can share it with her team and her customers when we get back. Patience is my roomie. Whenever we go somewhere, we are roomies. We've been that way since the very first one that we went to in Salt Lake City. We've been roomies ever since. So, yes, we are going to have a great time. It's so fun. Stampin' Up! Does such a good job putting on an event. You may have seen some of the pictures from New Orleans. That was a leadership event that Patience and Kay and Elizabeth, another friend of ours, and I went to in New Orleans. It was a leadership event. And we were what they call, which I didn't know this was a thing until that weekend, we were what they call second line. So they had a band marching down the street, and we followed the band. So we were the second line behind the band. They closed off the street, so there's like 500 Stampin' Up! Women just marching down the street. They gave us boas and beads to throw and little parasols to carry, and it was a blast. So only Stampin' Up! Could pull off something like that. So they do a really good job putting on events. They make you feel very special, and you get prizes, of course. So we will get new catalog prizes. So we will have lots to share when we get back. All that to say, if that sounds fun, you might ask me about this starter kit, and you could get in on the fun next time. I don't think you can still sign up for this one. I think the date has already passed for that. But there will be more. And this is the one that we're going to this time is what they call On Stage Local. So the main one, so every year when they have this, they have the main one in one country, and then they have what they call locals. So ours is just a one-day event. When the main one is here, and it's usually in Salt Lake City when they do it in the U.S., then it's like 3 days, if I remember right. So it's even more. But even the local is a blast. And when you go with friends, like we were talking, Patience was talking about, you know, some of the reasons to sign up for Stampin' Up. And I've mentioned some of them, you know, new stuff, discount. But one of the best things, besides just teaching people to do this, is the friends that you make. If I hadn't joined Stampin' Up, I probably would never have met Patience. And she's one of my good friends now. And we have loads of fun whenever we go somewhere together. So that's another thing, that community that you have. So you may have some friends that would be interested in joining you in stamping and making some cards for people. Okay, we're almost there. You're about done having to listen to me yak. This is our third one, and then after this, there's not much to it to put it together. Oh, I don't think I have the cards over here. Oh, I think I might have shared it on Facebook already, or it will be coming up. So we made another card with this set that was not the baby wipe technique. Goodness. But it was just stamping in 3 different colors, and it was beautiful too. So if I haven't already shared that on Facebook, it will be coming up in the next day or two. And I'll go ahead and put it on my blog post with this one tonight, so you can see it tonight if I haven't shared it. All right, we're almost done. One more edge. Whoops, about messed that one up, didn't I? I think I keep getting off camera, but it's not like you really have to see all of this anymore. But again, I didn't want you to miss out on how to make your baby wipe palette, so that's why you're having to sit through me fussy cut these. All right, almost. And it's hard for me to watch for comments while I'm cutting because I'm concentrating. Almost. Okay. Now we have all our leaves. Let's get all our trash out of the way. Put this up. And now we are ready to just put our card together. So this is the one that we saved with our little stem. So we want it to go last. This is the one I was not as excited about because of those lines in there. These really turned out pretty. I'm going to have to make some more. So I'm going to, and I'm using the liquid glue as usual because I'm doing this on an embossed piece, and it just sticks better with an embossed piece than the Stampin' Seal does. So I'm just kind of laying them on every which way. You just want to be sure you don't cover up your little sentiment. And then this last one, we will put on with dimensionals so that it'll kind of stand out. And then we'll add some little gems and we will be done. It'll kind of make it go like that. Oh, it's so pretty. And so, where did I put them? Here they are. We're going to use some champagne rhinestones. Those just look well with, I just think they go very well with anything fall. They kind of take on, you know, whatever colors they have around them to some extent. But I really think they go well with fall, with oranges and stuff. So we're going to do 3. When you're doing embellishments, you want to do odd numbers. That's supposed to be more pleasing. And then you also want to do them in a somewhat triangular shape. At least that's what I've been told. And there we go. So that wasn't too bad with all the fussy cutting, but isn't it gorgeous? I just love these leaves. And because this is a distinctive, you get some variation in the depth of the color just naturally from the stamp itself. All right, so somebody is going to win this, this card, because it's prettier than that one, is going to win this next week. So somebody that commented this week will win that. And last week, if I can pick it up, we made this fun card. I know that Patience would love this because Halloween is her favorite. Not really. She does not. She's not a fan of Halloween. But the winner of this is Betty. So Betty, I will get this to you. I think you're coming. If you're coming Thursday, I will give it to you then. Oh, Rebecca, we just finished our card. You'll have to go back and watch it. This is what we made with the baby wipe technique, and I showed you how to set up your palette to do the baby wipe, to ink up the baby wipes, and how to stamp them. So you will have to watch it. I know, Betty. I think that's the second one in a row you've won. You've been lucky, or maybe it was at the team meeting you won the prize. That's what, or not the team meeting, the card class. All right. Well, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.